Hey, so I just wanted to kind of report on what's going on. Um, so last you heard, I had a bit of a meltdown. I think I described this already, but it's like a bunch of samskaras, right? Boom, all experiencing them all at once. And it's like, it really is forcing me to relax. Like I spent 5 days just like lying there being like, relax. But it's really, really good. I really think it's, I mean, I might have said this already. I don't know. I think about it a lot. I think it's definitely a result of me breaking up all the tension in my body over the past several months. Because what is happening is I'm relaxing, and it's me noticing in my body where I'm tensing and releasing that part, right? Whereas before it was just all tense, and I could actually get a grip on sorry, went off there for a second. Get a grip on like actually keeping my body calm. And here's where we diverge from neuronorms. Those neuronorms. Some of my friends, I was like, oh yeah, you know, my nervous system kind of just shorted out, and I needed to like, you know, but it's really good. I'm like learning a lot, like I'm being forced to deal with these emotions and like endure them, and you know, like learn to relax my body, learn to, you know, I'm learning to focus on different things. Like I have to force myself to do this, or it's out of control, and I have to do it. I don't have a choice. And some of my friends, my people friends, are like, oh my God, that's awesome. You're making such good progress. my other friends are like, pull it together. So, there's the safe space part for me, right? I got a little too comfortable. I got a little too comfortable with the group. I felt a little too accepted. So yeah, they don't get it though. They really don't. Yeah, Walter was like, you know, I wasn't always this put together person. You know, it's a moment that I chose to become, you know, I chose to put myself together, and it's like that is not what it is. It's not about pulling yourself together. And he's telling me these things, and I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like, these are just patterns. I'm like, yeah, I know. it's the difficulty comes in actually changing them, you know. I mean, and he's just, they've got different mindsets. They have different things, and that's why it's not safe for me there emotionally. Even the people who are supposed to be emotionally safe are not. That's, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I see that. I see that, and I take note, and I will remember that for the future. That, yep, there's a line. I knew this before, and I got a little too comfortable. And there's a line when I can share with people, how I can speak with people. because they don't get it. They don't get it. I've talked to like 3 people about this, and they're like, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Yep. You do not have these problems. Nor have you ever, nor does anyone you know. Or if they do, you don't understand them. They think they do, though. This is the whole Eeyore thing, right? Oh, probably rain. No, that's not fucking depression, assholes. That's terrible. I didn't mean to assholes. But you know what I mean? Like, that's not depression. Pulling it together isn't, the solution to generalized anxiety disorder. And the thing is, you say to people, well, I deal with generalized anxiety disorder, and they think anything like that is like an excuse. And that is why my tribe is I have a different tribe. There's just no space for me there. So whatever, I'll do my healing without them, without informing them about stuff. Like, really, they do not know. They have no idea. Like, seriously, they're just like, okay, so I guess breathing slowly and calming your body hasn't been a challenge for you ever. Got it. Anyway, that was a little divergence from what I intended to do. What is going on right now is there's still like little fires of firing off. I mean, like gun of like embarrassment and guilt and shame, self-loathing, all that stuff. But they're more manageable. I'm gonna take a deep breath. And it really is, it's like I'm learning, something happens and my attention's on it, so I recognize it sooner. And sorry, I'm just remembering, like, oh, I can't talk to them like that. Right. They don't get that. So, okay. Sorry, like there's just parts of my body are tensing and like untensing, like clenching and unclenching. But there's a spaciousness. I don't know if I've already said this. I might be repeating myself. There's like a spaciousness that this has created, where all this things that that have come up and gone out, where those were. Okay, really just want to explain some things. To someone else who I behaved weirdly around. Do that later. Because otherwise it'll look like I'm crazy. Anyway. But these are things, right? Like the thoughts, the impulses, the feelings. Like, I go to tense and I'm able to release sooner, or like I tense really hard and then it's like, okay. Right? And I loosen it up. And it's good. I'm training myself. I'm training myself. Okay. To deal with these emotions, mainly embarrassment, regret, guilt, shame, self-loathing. You know, those are the yummy, delicious ones that I like to eat. They're just coming, you know, like I said, they were coming rapid fire. Really, really strong. Oh, okay, it's okay. Yeah, I'm just remembering behavior to someone in particular that I really want to explain, but I haven't had a chance to yet. Right? So, cough drop. So I'm learning to cope with those emotions and breathe through them and relax. And I know that as I do this, as I practice this, sorry, as I practice this, get loose. Oh, I really just want to explain, okay, see, this is the thing, this is something to practice, not going back, not getting obsessed with something, because I'll obsess about it for a week, nonstop. So, the work now is to stop focusing on that and focus on what's going on right now. Being in my body, relaxing my body. I need to drink more water. Your skin gets so dry when you get older. And see, as I say something and it comes up in the back, it's like the other thing comes up in the back of my head, I can choose to switch to that thing, even though I can feel my body starting to tense, even without the thought starting. Or I can choose to focus on the fact my skin is dry. And I'm saying hello to you guys. Some useful techniques. Ones that Robin gave me that you might find useful are to go around the room, like when you're feeling overwhelmed, to go around the room and list off. For her, I've seen different versions of this, but I used to be just naming objects around the room. I've heard of naming the objects and the color, so it's involving your mind a little bit more. And with Robin's, oh my gosh. Sorry, now I'm like getting a headache. Everything's going wrong. No, it's not true. Everything's going awesome. Like it's a challenge. To keep my focus, because everything is intense right now. Like more intense than usual, and it's all happening at the same time. So I'm really, really need another cough drop. I really, really calm. I really need to I'm gonna drink some tea. It's like getting serious about changing my thought patterns. Like this is giving me a really good opportunity to focus on my thought patterns in a major way. See what needs to be adjusted, because it, like you have these over the period of time, and it's like, okay, well, but like this is like rapid fire, practice. And it's really good. It's just very uncomfortable. So the things I'm working on are recognizing when, before I feel that sensation of overwhelm, like embarrassment or whatever, and taking a deep breath, right? Not going with a thought, basically, like not being swept away by a thought or a feeling. That's tough. That's hard. Focus is pretty much focus and relaxation. Is focus, relaxation, and how I speak to myself. Those are the three things that I'm really looking at. And I just have to keep practicing because they keep coming into play. See, that keeps coming up. There's the one thought there that keeps coming up. It's like, okay, not useful. And this is where it comes to the treating myself thing. Like, so there's this thought in my brain about the way I acted last time I saw someone, and I want to explain it to them. Because I was not in the driver's seat at that point. It's just my neurosis. It was like, it wasn't pretty. I wish that hadn't happened, but I am going to get the chance to explain it, just not for probably like another week. And for some reason, I can't in my brain say, well, it's taken care of. I'll explain it next week. It's like knowing that that's his impression of me right now. That's how he thinks about me right now. Gives me a lot of anxiety. Oh my gosh. I should probably stop talking. That's probably what's causing the coughing. So whenever that thought comes up, and it comes up like 3 or 4 times a minute, I'm practicing not going with it, not having a conversation in my head with the person, because I've done that enough times. Did that enough times. Not helpful. Really what I think the test here is learning to not to focus on something else. These are all lessons I'm learning under like intense conditions here. And that's really good, because I think once they've become established, patterns have become established, which they will shortly. What's the pattern? I mean, maybe not shortly, but I'm going to be working on them hard. So there's such a motivation there. This is really unpleasant. It's really unpleasant. Tolerable, but it's unpleasant. And the better I can get at observing the feelings, observing the thoughts, and not being swept up in them, and being able to focus elsewhere, like the more I do that, like it's just really, it's practicing that. And like I said, bringing back the thing that's not completely not useful at all. It just keeps coming back to it, and it's the purpose of it is to embarrass and shame and make me angry at myself. That's why I keep bringing it back. Let's discuss that. I keep bringing this thought back to torture myself with. There's no other reason for it. There's nothing I can do about it right now. And I have a solution that will take place in a week. I don't need to worry about it. There's no upside for it to keep coming back into my head at all. In fact, it's all downside. But, so this is a how I treat myself issue, right? I don't deserve that, even if I did embarrass myself. It's strange because when I do stuff like that, embarrass myself, embarrassment's the worst. The worst. Well, it's not worse than shame and regret. Guilt. But it's there. It's active. But embarrassing to me is like the worst. Not the worst, but I just said that. But like for some reason there's something inside of me that feels like I really need to be punished if I've embarrassed myself. Where does that come from? I get it. Okay. So that's a good thing. I can externalize that then, right? That's my mother. Thanks, Mom. I don't need that. And that's the truth too, though, right? Like, I mean, that part of me is trying to help me in a weird way, or torture me, or both. Brains. Sorry, I'm more distracted than usual because my sinusitis is a little. Okay, so this is about how I treat myself, right? Bringing this information back and again and again and again and again and just beating myself with it over and over and over. It's not useful. In fact, it's detrimental. And even if I feel like I deserve it, see, I think this is the key to a lot of this healing stuff. In the beginning, you don't feel like you deserve it. You feel like, oh, I don't deserve forgiveness. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. And the key is to start even though you don't think you deserve it, because where you're at isn't acceptable to stay. That's what it comes down to. And you just have to choose. You have to make the choice, right? Okay, whether or not I deserve it, fine. But if I want to spend the rest of my fucking life in this situation, if I don't want to do that, I have to make some changes. And they're going to have to involve doing this or doing that, treating myself well, right? And that keeps being true on different levels. Everything. You learn the same lesson again and again on different levels. And that's something I'm learning right now. It's a big one. This is a big level. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anyway, so despite the discomfort and volatility, I am really grateful that this shit is happening to me, because it is forcing me to cope with emotions that I run away from, strong ones, to stay in my body, to not beat myself up, to focus. So I'm grateful for it. If I can be grateful for this craziness, then I can remind you all that you too can always choose to have a grateful night.